4 years ago, my husband was accused of a felony that he did not commit. 2 years ago, he pled no contest to that crime. Not because he deserved it, but because he wanted to protect his family from being falsely persecuted the way he was. But families suffer too. In this time, his son, my stepson, has not been allowed to see or even speak to either of us. In fact, his incarceration has only made it easier for the birth parent to obtain protective orders based on her falsified claims. Because if you can't attend court, you can't defend yourself. And if you can't defend yourself, the attacking party wins by default. So what the second year has meant for us is more court, more lawyers, and more trying to build ourselves back up to where we need to be while still bearing the financial and emotional hardship of my husband's incarceration. My husband has a platform to tell his story, and I have mine. So I've been working on facilitating that and making sure that other stories are told too. Falsely Accused Oklahoma is a project that we've been working on. We're a team of writers and advocates. We want to tell the stories of not only the falsely accused, but also the forgotten, the convicted, their families, and the blind spots of society and the law. And if you want to know more about that, I welcome you to go there. But for right here, this is still intended as a space for a more personal telling of our family's story. And to that point, I would say that year 2 looks a lot like year 1, but with fewer surprises. So I'm not going to say that it gets easier. So I'm not going to say you get stronger, because I feel like that's just another way to whitewash it too. But you basically have 2 options when you're facing the same problem, the same day, the same obstacles over and over again. You either adapt or fold. And we haven't folded. We've learned to adapt. We see each other whenever visits allow, and we're grateful for it. We still talk to each other every day, and we're still very much together. Not everything has been perfect. I know for myself there's still a lot that I need to do. A lot of practical things, like preserving his work from before he went in, and setting up for our future. Things that he knows how to do, that I'm sure he could do very quickly and very well if he were here, but that I now have to stand in for because he's not. And that is on top of holding down the fort for the most part. All the usual responsibilities that come with running a household, keeping a good paying job, keeping the car in repair, keeping in touch with people the best we can, and generally keeping above water. I know there are some basic things just around the house that I've been struggling to keep up with. I've found that my perspective is, if it's just for me, it doesn't matter. I'm trying to change that, because what that means is that if it's just for me, then why bother keeping the house organized? If it's just for me, then why bother making things look nice, feel nice? I don't like the term self-care. I feel like it's become too cliche, and that it's often used interchangeably with self-indulgence. Yet I can't deny that learning to do things just for me has increased my capacity to do for others. So I'm also learning to be more open, which is a struggle for a variety of reasons, but one that is necessary. It's because of my husband's incarceration. It's not as if he can observe for himself. I have to tell him things he would otherwise guess. How I'm feeling, what I'm doing, where I am, where I want to go. And I have to make more of an effort to show and tell him that I want to be with him, because again, how else would he know? Sometimes I watch these videos back and see that I come off as cold or muted. And I'm not sure that that presentation is very far off from reality, except that when I'm speaking to a video, I have a chance to say a lot more than I normally would. When I speak to another person, the conversation is very easy to focus on that person. Ask them questions. Listen. Show the interest. I can do those things. But when it comes to expressing myself, I find that I'm sorely lacking. So no matter how it comes off, I've resolved to at least try. Try more and better than I did before. And hopefully bring a level of comfort and warmth to that expression that makes it at least relatable enough to reach understanding. But anyway, in brief, that's where we've been for the last couple of years, and that is the intention moving forward. 2 years seems to have passed quickly. Let's hope the coming year pass just as quickly.